Here are some things that come up a lot. Connection to a candidate. They're looking for a candidate. Connection to an issue. The ballot initiative, dirty money. Pardon initiative. They're just good Democrats. To gain experience. They feel ignorant, they want to know more, they want to be able to do more. To gain connections. Maybe they want to step up the leadership ladder, maybe they want to someday run for something or manage a campaign and they need some connections. And to be a part of something larger than themselves. I think we can all identify a little bit with that in this room. Will you press the button on that? Is there any other reasons that anybody in this room can think of why we would have volunteers in the room? Why are you all here?
Anti-wrecking ball.
Yeah. We're good humans. Anti-wrecking ball. Change.
Positive change.
Positive change.
Better than being angry on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's better than being angry on Facebook.
Yeah, better than being angry on Facebook. Look at all the people you get to be angry with in person. That's why I'm here, is that I couldn't just be angry on Facebook. I didn't feel like I was able to do anything. So I think when the screen slide is like this, a big across the bar, this is a main point that she's trying to make. If you don't walk away from this presentation with nothing else, these are her main points. In the understanding why a person is drawn to volunteering, it helps to tailor your ask. So you're not going to ask somebody who's drawn to volunteering for dirty money to, I don't know, what are we not going to ask them to do? We're going to ask them to do everything. We may not ask them to cycle a different petition necessarily, or we may, we're going to tailor what we ask them to do to what they want to do. So, then there is who we can recruit, and there's kind of three categories here. Who's going to volunteer for you? My best friend that lives just across the street from you, I'm gonna show up and say, hey, we really need somebody to table at this event. We just haven't had anybody show up for this. Could you step in for me? She's gonna volunteer for me because she knows me, and because I'm the one that's asking her. Who's gonna volunteer for your issue? I'm gonna pull dirty money back in here again. Who's gonna volunteer because they care about the dirty money petition? And that's your ask, is, hey, dirty money really needs this event to go off well. We need your help here. And who's going to volunteer just because we're Democrats? I think that is a softer category in my mind than the other two. But Democrats will volunteer for candidates. Regardless of who the candidate is, if it's got a D by its name, they're going to probably volunteer for a Democrat to help get out their signatures and their name and their issues.
Wait.
Yes?
So you think when it says who will volunteer for you, you're talking about that personal ask, like your neighbor?
Yes. Absolutely. Who is going to volunteer for you, Marilyn?
Because I asked.
You asked. Because Marilyn asked them, not
Okay.
because your region asked, not because your precinct asked, because you asked.
So there's an assumption you know the person that you're talking
Right.
about.
Yes.
I was also going to say that I think one of our selling points, so to speak, including in this room, is that we have felt disconnected and kind of lost. And this provides a focus for a camaraderie of people that have similar principles. And I think that's a draw.
Absolutely. I think that is part of why somebody volunteers to be in this room, is because we have that connection.
Yeah, so I would ask you, well, how are you feeling about this election? How are you feeling about the state of affairs? Would you like some kind of connection?
Right, and that is part of the, what are you in this room for?
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think it's important that we all take our little personal variations away from this, and you're taking that as needing to ask, how are you feeling about things, and what feelings brought you into this room today, or into this training, or into whatever. Somebody else may ask, what issues brought you in, Yes, Sally?
But sometimes it's just the opposite. Sharing your own motivation helps inspire them too.
Right.
So there's a little bit of both. You ask, but you can also share your own.
Right. I think the more personal you can make a training, the more effective it's going to be. And so as you're asking these people, the more you connect with them, the more you make those connections, the more you tailor your ask to what their interests and feelings and needs are, the better results you're going to have. This is an important mindset to keep in mind, in that we are offering people an opportunity to affect positive change, to be a wrecking, what was the wrecking ball? Anti-wrecking ball. We are giving people an opportunity, and this is the feelings. We are giving you something to do that is going to address your concerns and your worries and your need to do something. We're not asking them for a favor. We're not begging. We're offering. Where do we recruit? This is kind of a quick rundown. We'll go into each of these specifically. There's class reps and group reps, petitioning, and calling interested people, and high traffic canvassing. Class reps and group reps are going to talk a little bit to your concerns of how to approach people on campus. She doesn't do it in that order, of course. High traffic canvassing, this is going to be tabling at a farmer's market or at festivals in a lot of ways, or taking petitions out. You need to approach people with a sense of purpose. Again, you're giving them an opportunity and a chance to do something. You're not asking a favor from them. So bring that energy, that enthusiasm, that positive outlook. Educating people is how we win. So this is a page about the different efficacies of how you approach somebody. If you're standing behind a table and you're waiting for people to approach you, that's, for many of us, the most comfortable way to do this, but it is not necessarily the most effective way. Yes, here you are, you're providing a service, but you are not putting it in anybody's face. So you're going to get some interest from standing behind a table and saying, would you like to sign a petition? You're going to get more interest and more conversations out of walking up to somebody and saying, do you want to help stop dirty money in politics? You are going to get the most interest by making an ask, of a broad ask of, help me take our democracy back. Help me fix Arizona's politics. Help me. I'm asking them to help you, making that opportunity a really exciting thing. And that you walk up to somebody and say, hey, I have a petition for you to sign. Maybe I'll sign it, maybe I won't. If you walk up to them and say, hey, I need you to help me save our democracy, you've got their attention. Ask, 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 ask. Nobody's going to come to you, you have to go out to them. Persistence and talking about, you're going to get a lot of no's. When you are mass canvassing, you get a ton of no's, and that's okay. That's normal. It's hard not to get discouraged sometimes, but do keep in mind that, that 1 or 2 yeses that you get for every 10 no's that you get, that makes a big difference. Okay, we are talking in this one about stop and walk with people. So you're stopping your time, and they don't have time to really slow down. They're not slowing down, but they've given you their interest. Stay with them. People who are sitting down or standing in line. We tabled at the Mickey Mouse What,
Oh,
Not as fast.
one of the concerts out
Yeah.
at the Pepsi Center, Modest Mouse. And these people are captive in line. They're not going anywhere, right? Those sorts of situations are great opportunities for approaching people and having good conversations.
Comic relief.
In a room like this, maybe not for this purpose, but you can find one or two people who are interested in listening to you and having that conversation. And those people are going to spread that message to their group of friends that are around them, even if those people aren't necessarily listening. So it's good to find a point person to talk to sometimes if you're in a lukewarm environment that you can have help spread your message. Set goals. I think we're going to skip that one for now. The class and group reps on campus. You can reach your large targeted and captive audience again in a classroom setting. If you've got a professor that you feel is particularly receptive to letting you have a little bit of space, you can email or meet with that professor and say, hey, can I have 2 minutes at the beginning of your class? I've got this important public service announcement to make. And you show up, you introduce yourself to your professor again, you show up early, you pass out some sign-up slips. Like I have sign-up slips on all of these tables. You pass these out, you do your little 2-minute enthusiastic, hey, we really need volunteers for this, these are the events that we have coming up, this is what you can do, this is where you can come to join us. If anybody's interested, please fill out your sign-up sheet and collect your sign-up sheets, and hopefully you've got a handful of new volunteers, or at least new contacts. Call time, we all know how to do calling a little bit. The important thing I think out of call time and collecting volunteers in general is that we make sure that we follow up immediately. So when we collect all of your indications of what you did be interested in volunteering for this month, we're not going to wait another 2 weeks to get a hold of you, because then February is almost over and the volunteer opportunity and your interest has probably slipped, and so it is important to make sure that you do follow-ups very quickly. And I think this is our last slide. We never, ever stop recruiting. We just had an election, 5 months ago? We're still recruiting. Not going to be done, ever, apparently. So, buckle down, people.
It's a lifetime commitment.
It is. It is a lifetime commitment. I'm working on recruiting my daughter. She's 6 now. By the time
Is she still saying no?
Yes. No, actually, she led a budget chance at the Women's March this year.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah. Any other questions or thoughts on this? All right, then I think we are going to end this section of the